Welcome to Level Up and Strive with Felecia Etienne, the place to be for leaders, entrepreneurs, business owners, coaches, consultants, folks that believe in owning their power and living a limitless life. If you have not taken our free assessment on identifying the habits that's preventing you from winning at work and in business, go ahead and take that assessment and let's start serving you right now. So this episode has been brought to you by FeliciaEtienne.com. You're going to love this one. We're talking about 5 ways women can boost their confidence during times of crisis, like we're going through right now. This article I read, I think it was an NBC article, and I thought it was well written. It was written by Katie Kay, and she was one of the authors of The Confidence Code. So if you have not read this book, this is a phenomenal book that I would recommend every woman read, every leader. You have your daughter read this book. I mean, it's just a powerful book. And if you guys would like me to do a review of this book, let me know in the comments. I would love to do that. But she's the one that wrote this article, and I thought it's something that definitely want to bring to the community here. It gives us some statistics that I found really interesting, but it did not surprise me. So if you're watching this video and it's past the time of the coronavirus, this is the reality and some statistics that's aligned with that. Based on a recent survey, 31% of women versus 13% of men shared that they are feeling like they have more than they can possibly handle on their shoulders right now. And the reality is, women are losing their jobs at a higher rate than men are right now. And black women at even a higher rate. And in addition to that, women are handling the lion's share of the chores of the house. Now that some kids are going to school at a hybrid schedule, some kids are full remote. And when that happens, majority of the time is the woman that's trying to balance the career or balance the business while having the kid, the child, on the back of your screen, like I have, right? So we're all trying to get this done, and there's so many things moving, and I thought it was a really timely and some really good tips of things that we can do to really start to own our power and get back to living life on our terms. So the first one that they call out, and is one that sometimes we tend to take for granted, and it's practice self-compassion. And in one of the episodes, we talked about the importance of being present and taking a deep breath and acknowledging where you are. As you take that deep breath, is to have some compassion and really keep in mind that we are all in this together. We are all humans, beings, and we're all going through sometimes some challenges. And it's important for us to realize that we need to put ourselves, take a breath sometimes, and give ourselves some grace. Give ourselves a moment to be kind to ourselves and to acknowledge the reality of what's going on, because until we can acknowledge what that reality is, we are powerless. Your power comes when you acknowledge what it is and you start to put into action the things that's going to allow you to start to shift. The second tip that they provided, right? I would say the second one is to accept that this is beyond your control. So the earlier episode that in the series we talked about is control the controllables. There's things that's within our control and there's things that's outside of our control. And it referenced sometimes if you lose your job during a pandemic and the company unfortunately had to do some reorganizations and they had to decide to let go of your business unit, that is not directly impacting you. That's out of your control. What do we mean by that? Don't personalize it. And I can tell you, just based on my experience, it's never easy losing a job. I worked on my last job for over 10 years. It was like a family. Unfortunately, they decided to do a restructuring and they eliminated our role. And in the beginning, it was hard. But as soon as I started to acknowledge the reality of where I was and give myself some grace, then I was able to say, okay, this does not define me. It's a job. I have the skills, the tools. No one can take that away from me. I have the business acumen. No one can take that away from me. Now I need to take the opportunity to say, what can I do? Losing the job was out of my control because it was a business decision. It's as simple as that. Bottom line, right? It talks about bottom line. Don't take it personally, right? I'll say don't take it personally. Initially, I did take it a little personally, but at the same time, give yourself some grace. It's okay to feel. You're a human being. Feel what you need to feel, but don't live there. Take back your power and start to shift. Start to move. The third step they talked about was mastering new skills. So as things shift, there's so many things that's going on. Now, the digital world is where it's at, right? Everything, like even from your coaching, everything is done remotely. And that can come with its own challenge. It could be tech challenges, right? What do you do with your video? How do you get this to work? How do you get this mic? That so many things are shifting. But the point that the article really wants to, and I think it's important for us to really note here, is embrace the challenge, but at the same time, take control of the small things that you can control. You can control identifying the skills you need that's going to position you for the next role, the skills you need within your business that's going to position you for growth, the skills you need that's going to allow you to pivot, that's going to allow you to shift. Identify what those are and start to take action. It does not need to be huge action. All it needs to be is the next step, and then you need to keep the momentum going. That's how we move the needle. Number 4 is show resilience. This is one I'm really passionate about because within my Level Up and Thrive framework, one thing I coach on is how to develop an unshakable mindset. Because the reality is, things are going to happen. There's a lot of uncertainty. Things that you planned may not go as planned. Your best laid out plans may not follow through. But if you build that level of resilience and you build your faith to know that you have the power to shift this, right? And you build to have faith over fear, you will be successful. But that takes, just like everything else, is building that muscle. Building the muscle around your resilience. Understanding that the obstacle you're facing, if you think back in your life, you probably had other obstacles that you were able to push through. So you've done that before. You can overcome it. And there are going to be challenges that's going to be pull you right down. Things that's unexpected and you're going to be like, why me? And instead of thinking of that why me, you're going to be saying, yes, me. because I have the power to shift. I have the power to change this. And for those of you guys who don't know my story, what got me so passionate about peak performance and helping women level up and strive in their business and their life is because while I was traveling on business, 22 weeks traveling on business, went into labor in Dallas, Texas. My family was all the way in New York. Had to relocate to Dallas because my baby was only 1.5 pounds. And my kids were in New York. So that was one of the most difficult situations I've been in. And if one thing it taught me was the importance of building your resilience and building an unshakable mindset. Because during that time, there was a lot of things that shift. There was a lot of ups and turns. There were things that one day was a great day, next day was all the way down. It shift up and down, up and down, up and down. And if you don't have the right mindset, you will not survive. And this article talks about how do you got to start building that resilience. Number 5, get involved in your community. This is a great one. And when I think back to my experience, when I went through, relocating and spending all that time, 4 months in NICU, what helped me survive is having a strong community. And the community is other women that were going through similar situations. By volunteering with folks that that are struggling even more than you are struggling, when you give, you get so much more. You build your confidence in knowing that you have a voice and you have helped others, but you also have a chance to lift up others and help them break through. So these were 5 quick things you can do to really build your confidence, build your resilience. So I hope this added value to you. And please like, subscribe, and the call to action for you is to identify just one tip, just one strategy you can implement in your life to help boost your confidence and your level of resilience. This is Felecia Etienne from FeleciaEtienne.com. Super excited to be on this journey with you. Continue to level up in your life and your business and take care of yourself.